Hello everybody and a good day to you all. Today I'm talking about Arrow, season number 6, episode number 18, Fundamentals. Episode directed by Ben Hernandez Bray. And here we have Oliver trying to find Diaz and stop him. Trying to find all the cops who are corrupted and then stop them. And try to save the city. That's all he wants to do, save the city as mayor. And he's going through some problems right now. He's under investigation. And he has to prove to himself that he's got the Green Arrow and all this other stuff like this too. So he won't get impeached. And he has, he also dealing with the fact that everybody on his team has left now, even Diggle. Because everybody's blaming Oliver for everything, which I think is pretty dumb. They're taking their own personal issues and then they're blaming it on Oliver, and he was the one that caused all their problems in their lives, and so therefore they had to leave him. Like this, really? Really? Oliver gave them all purpose, really, pretty much. Gave them all purpose, trained them to be heroes, told them everything the best way he knows how to be, and then they all turned on him. Like it's all his fault. Now Oliver's not perfect. He has made some mistakes. He does some things that may be a little bit questionable too. But they all knew that going in. They all knew that about him. But yet now, he's the most evil thing in the world. He's a bad leader, and you can't trust him, and none of his decisions make sense. People die around him. I just say what? I mean, even Diggle, and I never thought Diggle was going to turn on him. But I just like, wow, y'all people are so unloyal. Like, wow. And the thing is, though, Diggle is so holier than thou. He can't look at the faults he made and say, you know what? Yeah, I messed up too. I'm not even all that great of a leader. Because even under my watch, things went bad. Then, as a matter of fact, his leadership was the reason why everything started going to crap. And that's why Oliver had to step back in. Oliver gave it up. He gave it to Diggle and said, I'm going to be mayor, and I'm always going to be there for my son. And then they found out you was on drugs, lied about it, also put the team in jeopardy, and then you got hurt really bad. So because of the drugs and then the treatment that Curtis tried to give you, didn't react well to each other. So you had to go to the hospital. Then he had to come back in, be the leader again, and be Green Arrow again, risking his life. Also, the fact that he could go to jail because the people are after him for being a vigilante. He put all that aside to save the city that you messed up. But nope. He didn't think of that part. It's all Oliver's fault. And you got Renee, who's a hothead, constantly got the team in trouble plenty of times, and Oliver had to save him. And then that now, nope, I forgot all of that stuff. You're the bad guy. Dinah, Dinah was actually the most level-headed one at all of them for a while. Until her boyfriend got killed, and then she went stupid. But nope, it's not her fault. It's Oliver's fault. And Curtis, well, he was the smart one, but he also was very weak in the field. And he also was a weak link that also they constantly had to save him constantly all the time, because if not for Oliver, he would have been dead. But nope. Oliver's the bad guy. You can't trust him because he spied on him. Ugh. And so now their feelings got hurt, and so they got to go away. And all of this, and the thing I liked about this episode right here this is what I like about this episode. You have Quentin, who pretty much says that to him. That's their own personal baggage, and I don't believe that you're the bad guy at everything. Thank you! I mean, Oliver's not perfect. I know that for sure. But he's not the reason why everybody's hating on him, not trusting him, turning against him, makes no sense to me. Really doesn't. See, John just needed a job. That was his issue. He needed a job. He's so focused on being Green Arrow. See, that's the thing. He had no purpose in his life. The only reason why John Diggle is in Oliver's life, because he was hired to be his bodyguard. That's it. And then he found out Oliver didn't need him. So now he got hired to a job that nobody needed him for. So he's just around. And Oliver was being the Green Arrow. And so, well, he just tagged along and became Spartan. But he never really had a purpose of his own. No mission of his own. He tried to go back to the military. That didn't work out. And so then he finally got to be And then Oliver passed on the torch to him. And he felt as though, I got a purpose now. I got a purpose. And then we messed that up. Instead of looking at himself and trying to examine what's going on, he blamed Oliver. And so Oliver's dealing with all this stuff right here. And then he also got to deal with the whole mayor issues and stuff. And because he got, in this episode, he gets drugged he gets drugged, which makes him hallucinate and also re-examine his life and see where he went wrong and like what he need to do to get himself back on track. Like, what does he need to do to be the hero again, to help save the city? He had a mission. His mission was to save the city from all the corruption that was there. That was his whole mission. And somehow, I mean, he didn't really get off track. He still wants to do that. But I wouldn't say, I want to call them like distractions, but other things came into his life. I mean, he got married. He found out he had a son. He wanted to be a father. And he got a new job being a mayor. Are those bad things? No. Was he stretched out a little bit too thin? Maybe. Because some things did conflict between one another. I mean, being the mayor and being vigilante did kind of like clash between one another. I mean, because he can't run the city and go by the laws and then also break the law at the same time too. One of them got to go. But so in this episode, because of a drug, he's forced to re-examine his life and the decisions that he made. And trying to find a way to get back on track so he can really save the city. And that was a very interesting path he was going on, an interesting journey, a very emotional journey that he's going through, watching certain things in his life and how things are getting played out. And the person who was there, like sort of like his spiritual guide, was kind of interesting. How you interact with him. And then also he's dealing with the fact that sometimes he can't quite tell what's going on in the real world and what is this fantasy or this real? Is this just my paranoia and my own personal inner demons coming at me, or is this actually really happening right now? And see him dealing with that. So I actually like this episode. I mean, I wasn't liking the whole storyline between the whole Diggle situation and stuff like that, but I'm like. It feels as though it's starting to get back on track again. And I'm liking that. And I like that. Where it's going to go from here, is the team actually going to get back together ever again? I don't know, and if it does, how would it be this time? Would it be different? Would it be totally different? So, because the way this storyline is going, I feel like as though he's not going back to doing teams anymore. He's not relying on other people anymore. Because it seemed like the more people he added onto the group, that's when things started to go sideways. Because everybody has their own opinion on how they should do things. And sometimes when you have a leader who's in charge, who everybody wants to follow, supposed to, but then at the same time they question everything he does, they second guess things, everybody wants to do their own thing too at times, and so therefore, and then he constantly has to compromise or make them feel good about themselves so he can keep them on the team. Because this is how a lot of things happen within the Arrow team. Arrow make a decision. They don't like it. Felicity tell him, I think you're a little bit, and Oliver snaps at him. And then that Felicity goes to Oliver and says, I think you're a little bit been too hard on them. I think you should try to listen to this situation. So Oliver does that. Things still go sideways. And then Oliver gets pissed off. And then the division starts to keep happening more and more and more. And they think they're right, and Oliver thinks he's right, and so therefore, well, problems happen. That's why they keep saying, it's a phrase, come on, too many cooks in the kitchen, it's not going to end well. We got too many bosses, too many A-type personalities, well, it's bound to clash. Bound to. So maybe this might be a good start, a good fresh start for the show and for the character itself, watching them move forward, trying to get back to basics. They even have him back in his older uniform. They really show that things are going to change. A new Oliver is going to come. A little bit of the old, a little bit of the new. Because he has changed. Because the character has changed and evolved. He's still learning. He's not perfect, and sometimes he reverts. Because see, his teammates didn't understand one thing. Oliver pretty much did a lot of these things on his own. All the training he went through, alone. The torture and all that stuff like that, he was alone. Yeah, he had to hook up with other people along the way, but he still was like by himself. even with the brothel and stuff like that too. He was with them, but he wasn't like them. He was still kind of alone. So now you're trying to force somebody who have just years of this behavior to act just like you. It's not going to work. Yeah. So leave comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this episode of The Arrow. And if you have any, if you haven't watched it, check it out for yourself. Hopefully, when you watch it, you will enjoy, have fun watching it too. So that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So give my channel a big like, thumbs up, boom, and subscribe to my channel and share. I would appreciate it. Also hit the little bell at the bottom so you get notified every time I make a video. So like I always say, in my dreams and in my life, I am the Ninja Rabbit. Peace out, people.